Carcross Canada provides the dealer cost, a list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. The link is in the description below. Welcome to one of my favorite places, not just in Canada, but favorite places anywhere. The Yukon Territory. We're just outside Whitehorse, and this is the perfect location to showcase the all-new Subaru Outback, the 6th generation model. Wide open spaces, mountains, the kind of place you imagine driving an Outback. This is the original SUV from Subaru, and they haven't changed the formula over 6 generations. It could be looked at as a long SUV. I look at it as a tall wagon, and I love wagons. So this is built on the same global platform they've used for Forester, Ascent, and a bunch of new Subaru models. And when we get driving, I'll tell you why it makes such a big difference in Outback. On the outside, they found out that people who like these vehicles don't like change, so it looks very similar to the outgoing model. What you do get are bi-LED headlamps, meaning they're high and low beam, and you get LED driving or fog lamps. The one you're looking at here is a brand new trim for Outback. It's called Outback Outdoor. And what it's meant to do is bring in younger buyers. You notice the outdoor model because it has the dark wheels, the dark mirror caps, and the dark grille, a little bit more assertive look. And we'll get into any of the other changes when we get driving as well. So we're in this beautiful, big, expansive part of Canada. Not much around here, but mountains, trees, and wilderness. So let's get inside and go for a ride in the Outback. It doesn't take very long driving behind the wheel of this new Outback to realize that this is all new. From the wheels up, they have invested in their new global platform they've used in many new models from Subaru, but in this particular model, it makes a marked difference on road. And one of the attributes of the Outback that a lot of owners have liked is that you get the utility, but you still get the car-like ride. And that's why I like this product. That's why I like station wagons. I look at this more as a tall station wagon than a traditional SUV, and that brings a lot of benefits. Better road manners, better handling, but the rigidity, the effort that went into making this platform has increased rigidity depending on which part of the car it is, anywhere from 70 to 100%. And that allows the engineers to do a bunch of things like improve road insulation into the cabin. They've also put new cladding under the bottom of the car to improve aerodynamic effect, also for some protection for going off-road. And then they've invested in insulation on the inside of the cabin. And behind the wheel, as I mentioned, it doesn't take long to realize this is a new vehicle, and it has a much more upscale feel than ever before. In fact, I want you to click on the Subaru Legacy video I did from a few weeks ago. I talked about how that car now feels almost premium, and this vehicle is similar. One thing about the outside of this car is traditional Subaru Outback owners love the way it looks, so they didn't mess too much with the recipe. However, on the inside, they decided to go a big step forward, not only to keep existing Subaru fans happy, but hopefully to lure in some people that hadn't considered this SUV or tall wagon. And it all centers around the big screen in the center of the dash that you see here. This screen is 11.6 inches, and this is the screen you get on every single Outback except the least expensive base model. When you're on a certain screen, some element inside this system, you have the ability to see the radio and still the HVAC system. Now, Subaru also knows that traditional buyers like the fixed buttons and switches. So there's still a volume knob and there's still a way to access the heat without having to go into the system. So this 11.6-inch screen really is a major showpiece of this product. Now, what do you get on that base model? It also is rather dramatic as well. 2 7-inch screens stacked on top of each other. Whether you get the base model or this higher end version, all come with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Then you get into the rest of the cabin. Very nicely done. This one is the Outback Outdoor version. You've seen this with Crosstrek and Forester. Subaru uses the contrasting stitching in bold colors to showcase their more outdoorsy sort of feel and look. You get these contrasting seats here, and you get the bright stitching, but this is not leather. This is faux leather, and it's done to go along with the outdoor nature. Say you get it dirty, you want to wipe it down, you want to vacuum it out. This model also comes with the all-weather rubber mats, so it's meant to get dirty and go outdoors and meant to clean up easily as well. The wheelbase of this car has not changed, so the seat room front to back is about the same. The width has changed though, and that affects seat room side to side. Also, the cargo area around the back. There's a power liftgate now, and the liftgate is quicker. They actually put the motors for the electric liftgate inside the shock struts, and you get a large cargo area and a longer cargo area than you typically get in most SUVs in this class. It's sort of between compact utilities and mid-size utilities, and there really doesn't have any direct competitors anymore. So what do we have at work here? The big news is the turbo engine is back in Outback. So we'll start with that one first, and that's what I'm driving here today. 2.4 liter, 4-cylinder turbo. We first saw it on Ascent. It's got 260 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque going through a continuously variable transmission. Now the base engine is still the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder that has 182 horsepower and 176 pound-feet of torque. I'm here to tell you, if you can make the push to buy the turbo, do yourself a favor, because it makes a big difference. So that's basically what's going on with this. Much more improved and refined on-road, but what can it do off-road? So they have an off-road course set up for us today with some steep descents, and it's going to be interesting to see what this can do. Now, looking at the Outback, you would think, like I've referred to it many times, as a tall wagon. But what's unique about the Subaru utility products, whether it's the Crosstrek, the Forester, the Ascent, or this, is all of them have 220 millimeters of ground clearance. Now, that is not the case when you get a lot of compact utility vehicles. Think CR-V and RAV4. On top of that, this is a more sophisticated all-wheel drive system, and that allows this to shift power from side to side, front to back, with equal amounts of torque to get you out of situations. Now, one thing I should mention about this new outdoor version is it has a forward-facing camera. So you hit the button here in the center of the console and it shows you your forward view. This is particularly helpful when you're going over or down obstacles that you might not be able to see over. This will do it for you. That's pretty good. The other thing is when you put this in X mode and you start going downhill, it's a hill descent control. It keeps the vehicle at whatever speed you start to go down the hill at. So right now we're going down at about 5 kilometers an hour. It'll continue to do that. Getting some instruction here. See? Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are
Long
you?
time no see.
Long time no see.
How you doing?
Sorry for the glove. X mode's on.
X mode is on, yeah.
Perfect. So you can use hill descent. This
Yep.
is soft sand, so it will work well. I'm just trying to slow the cars down so you don't arrive too much speed and dig in more.
I was just explaining that we're going over a
Yes.
crest now, so the front camera's on. So even though I can't see past the hood, I can see here.
Yeah.
See you the next time
See
round.
you. Thank you.
Okay, so there you go. You can maybe hear the ABS. And that's the hill descent control, keeping me set at 3 kilometers an hour. And it's all technology that works. It's pretty cool. How you doing?
Yeah, Zach. Okay, you know the rodeo. Okay, take your time, enjoy it.
Same thing, right?
Yeah.
Same as there? Okay, off we go. So we've got it set at about 3-4 kilometers an hour. We'll go a little faster than that. These are some pretty big holes, and yeah, you got the ground clearance to do it. That's what I like about this. You have station wagon handling on road, but some, real ground clearance for off-road. And the thing about Subaru buyers and Outback buyers in particular is they actually do this kind of stuff. People who go outdoors, they go hiking, they go kayaking, they go mountain biking, they gravitate towards this brand for exactly this reason. And we're going to drive a little bit longer. I'm going to talk about one major feature of Subaru vehicles before we get to a unique destination here in the Yukon. What is it? Eyesight. Eyesight, until this year in the Canadian market, was not standard. You had to buy specific models. Now, Subaru Canada has followed the US and included Eyesight on this model and the Legacy as well on every single trim. It's a very advanced system, and in addition, you can also get the automatic reverse braking. So if you're coming up to something, if it's an object or a wall in a parkade, the vehicle will stop automatically for you. All right, what's the special location? Check this out. Now, I told you the Yukon is an amazing place. We're near a town called Carcross in the Yukon Territory, and this is the Carcross Desert. This small little desert in the Yukon. Crazy, right? And it's a perfect place to bring this new outdoor version of the Outback. It has 2 modes in the X mode. Let's give it a try. In the sand. First of all, everybody should have access to sand dunes in a desert to try this out because it's so much fun. So the vehicle we're in, as I mentioned, is the outdoor version of the Outback. But the biggest difference mechanically, or electronically in this case, is X mode, which you get with Subaru. But when you go into the X mode settings, there's 2 additional settings. There's snow and dirt, and there's deep snow mud. Now we're in, I guess, arguably, I'm going to go with deep snow mud, because I don't see a specific sand setting here. What that's going to allow the system to do is to actually do the opposite of what you would think, and that is to allow the wheels to slip more. And that's what you want when driving in sand. Now this is fun because you've got the turbo engine and you've got the ability to drive in this stuff that is actually quite loose. It's been raining a little bit, so you've got a little bit of compactness. But I gotta tell you, this is a riot. Now I'm gonna go sideways here and let you see, you know, the system just letting the wheels spin and also just allowing the dirt and the sand to kick up and the, you know, power of the symmetrical all-wheel drive system to do its work. It's quite amazing. And as I mentioned, this is pretty deep. I kind of do this sort of sidewinder thing where you're going straight, but you're actually on an angle and the wheels are slipping. This is a lot of fun. As I mentioned, everybody should have a sand dune. Well, the Outback has been around for about 25 years, and they've just kept making it better, but sticking with the same basic formula. Other entries have come and gone. Toyota Venza entered the market. That's gone. The Volkswagen's eliminating their station wagon and their all-track at the end of 2019. So this really is the only non-premium all-road capable station wagon in the marketplace. There are so few options, but thankfully Subaru has committed to this vehicle. It was their original SUV and they're sticking with the plan. But how much does it cost? The base model, called Convenience, without the large 11.6-inch screen, is just over $30,000. If you want to get the first turbo, that's the Outdoor, the one we're standing in front of now, is around $38,000, and the top trim, the Premier with the turbo, is almost $44,000. It's nice to see they haven't abandoned the shape. They've kept with the formula. It has a lot of fans, and I think this one will bring even more new buyers. Carcross Canada provides the dealer cost, a list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. The link is in the description below.